Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Alicia.
And welcome to
The
Color Room.
Where we're going to be talking about the industry, what we do as hairdressers, a little bit about the back room.
And just everything that has to do with just salon culture in general, a little bit about our lives and how it influences us in our everyday lives and many other hairdressers that we know.
Yeah, and how we're a good time.
We're a great time.
Come along with our ride. And then we cue the music.
So we came up with the concept of in the color room because in a lot of salons, we have a color room or a back room, as I'm sure a lot of other industries, especially in the service industry, have, where that's our home. I refer to it as our bedroom a lot. That's our secret safe space. That's where we go to collaborate. It's where we go to think. It's where we go to eat lunch.
Yeah. Literally, coffee hour.
Yeah.
Shove a banana down our throat
and just
call
keep
it
going.
It was really important to me, like when I opened a salon, that we had that. In the past salons I worked at, we've literally had like this tiny little closet where we kept color, and I would literally eat my lunch on a garbage can. And there was no room to have that connection with your coworkers or anything like that. So for me, it was really important to create some type of environment for us to feel safe, and then we can step away. Because, we all need a mental break sometimes. Like, we check out.
No, I know for me in the past, a lot of times the back room or the color room is a negative space.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place where we get talked about and gossiped about, and it's not a safe space. It's not somewhere where you can relax. It's a hunting ground. Like, everything's all fun and games on the floor, but it's like, oh, did you see so-and-so did this? Or can you believe they'd use that? Like, it's usually the stirring pot.
Yeah.
And so you really wanted to...
I wanted to do the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to nip that in the butt. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, when I hire people, we know I'm very particular with who I hire. The salon can have this reputation of, mean girls or cattiness, and like, we're fighting over clients. And instead of just like, if we're a team, if we all do well, we like can build up together. And I want us to be a family. And I know a lot of people will say, like, if your salon's calling you a family,
it's toxic.
Like, it's toxic. And I'm like, no, but my salon truly is a family. I mean, we've literally seen each other grow up together. I mean, it's only been 7 years, but
a lot happens in 7 years.
I got married. I had a baby. I watched you get married. I watched you grow from an assistant into a full-blown stylist.
I watched you grow into a mother.
Yeah.
A lot happens in 7 years. And I have to say, I feel like the only time you've ever reprimanded us is when we're laughing too loud in the back room.
Yeah.
And you're like, you got to keep it down.
For the next salon, we need like a soundproof room back there. Because I'll be like doing a client and all I hear is, oh my God, like screaming. And I'm like, first of all, FOMO, because I'm like, I want to know what's happening back there.
For once, the color room is not a place where you want to like jump out of. For once, it's like when when your bell goes off and you have to leave the conversation and you're just like, wait, we're getting to the good part.
So yeah, I could say we definitely have a lot of fun in our color room.
Should we introduce ourselves?
I guess we should talk a little bit about ourselves. You go first. Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna sip my coffee.
Sip your coffee. I'm Lauren. We're both from New Jersey, born and raised. I'm 25. I'm a stylist here at Infinity. And what is it? I'm a cat mom. I'm a wife. I'm an educator. I'm loud. Yeah.
You're Lauren.
I am Lauren. That's the only way to describe me. I am Lauren.
I love that. I've been behind the chair for, I think it's like 13 years now. I get confused.
I think I'm at 7.
Yeah, either 13 or 14. I lose track because I feel like when I teach, I always like say how many years I've been like behind the chair, and I'm always like, wait, it's another year, so it can't be 13 or whatever. So anyway, but I've been behind the chair for that many years. I've owned Infinity. We just had our birthday for 7 years, which I'm super proud of my little baby. That's really flourished. I'm a mom. I am a dog mom of 2. And yeah, I'm a wife. Business owner. I kind of do it all. And I also am an educator from Rock and Roll.
Yeah. It's the new year. Should we share some of our resolutions and goals?
I love that. Yeah.
You go
Me first. Okay. So my goals for 2024 are, 2023, I was starting to set my boundaries. and I think
Starting.
2024 starting. It's really hard for me because I feel like I'm a people pleaser. I am a Libra. I like balance. I like, everyone to be happy, and I feel like it's really taking a toll on me personally. So I feel like I need to start putting myself first. And obviously after I had Savannah, like she obviously comes first, my business comes first, and I'm like, you know what, it's time for me to do me.
Yeah.
And so 2024 is going to be about me. It's about setting my boundaries. It's about being more strict with my services, and taking a stand of this is what I'm doing, and that's it. I'm not going to just say like, yeah, no problem, I can get you in, even though like I'm working 12 hours today. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. I can't. My body cannot physically take it anymore. Goals for my business. I really want to go big. I'm looking to hire more stylists, and I'm looking to create a different kind of salon environment. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. I don't want to, put out all my secrets.
Gotta move in silence sometimes.
I don't need anyone sabotaging my my good luck there. So we'll see.
Listen.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with boundaries. I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign. I will straight up tell people no. I'm trying to be nicer.
I like that. She's always nice to me, so I can't.
No, because I feel like that comes out in like a mean way. Like it sounds like I'm mean. No, I was thinking about it today. I was at a Christmas party last night.
I forgot you went to that.
And it's just one of those things where like I can talk to anybody. I could talk to a wall. I have no problem like talking to people. But it's one of those things where I want to be nicer in the sense of like, I mean, nicer to myself. I think we can both agree we can both be very hard on ourselves.
I agree.
But also just like, I don't know, we live in such a judgmental world that I feel like to just be nice to somebody is such a pleasure. Like when you get a compliment or if someone's like goes out of their way to do something small for you, it always feels nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And like we do work in like a service industry, but like outside of being in the salon, because even like last time I was having a conversation with just someone at the party, and it started because I'm like, oh my god, I like your shawl. She was like wearing like a little black dress with like a Christmassy shawl, and it was something as simple as that like to make a connection with someone. I guess I want to connect more with people.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
I feel like ever since COVID, I feel like people are more reserved.
Yeah,
they kind of like stick to themselves, and I find that when I'm at the store and I'm just like buying something and at the register.
Because I know I'm like that. And maybe because we give so much of ourselves, especially personality wise, to our jobs. It's like when I'm out and about, it's not that I don't want to socialize because I really thrive off of human connection. And like that's why I love social media, because it's the connection that you can make with people. But it's one of those things where I'm like, my husband always jokes around like, you're doing such a good job at making friends, because it's like I will go out of my way to not talk to people.
I think it's I feel like especially her husbands, they can't understand. And I always have this problem with John is when all day I'm literally talking all day long, and I'm giving myself, I'm like my energy is going out to all these people. I'm giving out my positive energy, and I'm absorbing their negative, because they tend to like just tell us their problems.
And that's okay.
That's what we're kind of here for. We're here to listen to your problems, to help you solve them.
Trauma dump on me, babe. I'm here.
But what they're not understanding is that we just got trauma dumped on
like 3 other people before you.
And so when I come home, the last thing I want to do is, no offense, listen to what Bob did at work for you today. Like I can't function. I'm like, I can't talk to anyone right now.
See, I'm kind of the opposite, because we give a lot of ourselves, but I'm an ADHD minded person. So it's very loud in here. So a lot of it is trying to keep myself together in a way.
Yeah.
Like from not, I mean, listen, I sing and dance in the salon. I think most of the clients, especially the clients who've been coming here for a very long time, they understand who I am and my personality. Mm-hmm. But like you see me behind closed doors, it can be a very reserved version of me when I'm here. That's like when I go home, I'm either very quiet. On a Saturday, I'm usually quiet, or I'm very loud. And my husband, Jake, he'll usually be like, "You had a rough day." depending on how loud I am, because I will just, I'm like a disaster when I come home. It's a lot of noises. It's just me like getting all that energy out essentially. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, it was a rough day for you. Okay, got it.
Telling me, I'm like, don't talk to me. No one talk to me. I'm like, leave me alone.
But I think it's also because we have to be on all the time.
Well, that too. And I feel like, so you're coming home to like your cats and Jake. Yes. And it's like, okay, you guys can take a minute. I'm coming home to a screaming toddler who literally has not seen me all day. So she wants to be with me, which of course I want to be with her. But I need 5 seconds. So I'm getting to her. She's like, Mama.
You're like, can I take my shoes off?
I need this. I need that. And I'm like, oh my Lord. It's like, for me, it's sensory overload when I walk through my door. It's like, I can't.
I'm the sensory overload for Jake. He's in a quiet, calm house, and I come in. I'm like, ah! I'm the screaming toddler.
I love that.
I'm the screaming toddler.
I like that a lot.
But going into more like stereotypes of like salon environments and things like that, what was something that was important to you when you were opening the salon, besides the back room, that you wanted to shift away from the more traditional salon space?
So I wanted, everyone will say toxic, but I wanted that family culture.
I love Britney Spears.
Listen, we all have a little toxicity in us, right?
Apparently some of us more than others.
Yeah. So I truly did want that salon environment of a family. I wanted to come into work and not have to worry about like if my boss was in a good mood or a bad mood, or like if it was going to be my fault that day that the computer wasn't working.
Which I don't know what it is about salon computers that don't like to work. And I don't know what it is about being, especially the youngest person in the salon,
and expected to know.
To just know. I'm like,
and I
can't even cut a straight line yet.
Lucky,
you want me to?
Lucky for me, I am a little tech savvy.
You are.
So I can try to figure things out. I really can, but it's also, I didn't go to school to be in IT. So
you didn't?
I didn't.
That was not in the cosmetology program you took? Dang.
So again, I wanted a family environment. I wanted a safe place for hairdressers. And I always like to say, like, we're little, like, salon rescues, because, like, hairdresser rescues, because we've all been abused by old salon owners. And I wanted to, like, stay away from that. I wanted you to be able to come to me, even though I'm your boss, you feel safe enough to tell me, like, this is what's going on, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And I want that. And you weren't afraid that I was just going to scream at you. And, you know, I just wanted to have fun. Like, I love being behind the chair. I love doing what I do, and I wanted it to just be that. I didn't want it to turn into, like, you know, Sally's talking about this and, like, whatever, and, like, there's just arguments. Fuck Sally. There's all these arguments, and I just wanted to, like, walk in this door and have a safe space.
Yes.
And also for my clients, it was really important that my clients felt safe.
I
want them to feel comfortable. Like, we had just had our 7-year, and we asked everyone, like, what Infinity meant to them. And I literally cried, because, like, all the things that these people said was exactly the environment I was going for. I wanted people to feel like it was a home, and, you know, come in here, you could wear sweatpants, you could have a full face of makeup on. We're not going to judge you.
Did you manifest that?
Oh, yeah, I did. I wanted people to feel like they were just hanging out with us for the day.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to, like, you know, wear Chanel to come here. Like, who cares? No one cares.
And I worked in those type of salons where, I mean, I think for us, obviously, like, this is our work and people are looking at us. So looking and showing up in a presentable manner is important.
Correct.
And I think that, like, the style nowadays is very interesting to see how some hairdressers dress. And listen, if that works for you, babe, good for you. And I think there is a part of me that's like, don't worry about how I look so much. I got you. But it's one of the things that our clients are taking style and style advice and trends from us. So, like,
see, I will say that I am a little bit of an old school mentality. Like, I feel like you should look presentable to come to work, because, like, yes, we're hairdressers, and maybe this isn't, like, you know, an office environment, but we're still coming to work. So we don't, like, I still think you should have a little makeup on, or hair should be done, because your clients are looking at you. And I can't tell you how many times I changed my hair, and my clients wanted to change their hair because my hair looked different.
Yes.
So I always feel like that's a way to even get your clients to change your hair is by like
Absolutely.
putting yourself together a little bit. And I'm not saying you have to wear like, stiletto heels to wear. No. But I would say like embrace your style.
Yeah.
So whether that's like a band tee kind of girl, that's fine. I don't care. Like, if you do want to wear a blazer to work, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. But like, I just can't get behind the whole. I know it's gonna be bad. The sweatpants thing. I can't do it.
That's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
That for me is also one of those things where I'm like, that's why I'm like, the trends can be interesting because again, people look at us to be trendy. They're not just looking at our hair and our makeup, but they're looking at us as a whole package.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things that, listen, I have clients who show up in like sweatpants and cute little tees, and I think they look adorable. But I also know that like I would feel uncomfortable wearing that. But again, that's a personal thing because I see girlies on Instagram and they rock it.
I wish I've seen people wear like the little crop tops with the sweatpants, and I'm like, I wish I could look
so freaking cute.
Yeah, I just don't have the confidence behind it.
I was about to say it could be a confidence thing, and also I think it's a where we are thing because I don't feel like I see a lot of salons around us who dress in that way because like we've talked about this before, the different even hair trends from like East Coast to West Coast, from north to south. We work with hairdressers from all over the country when we educate, and we all do hair very differently. We all have very different styles, and things are trending at different times in different places.
Yeah, I have to say that's probably my favorite thing is that like we get to see around the country, like what people, how they dress, how they do hair. Like I really do enjoy that part of.
Yeah, I like the technical side of it too, because even the verbiage that they use.
Yeah.
Because I notice like a lot of the like I'll refer to like a subtle balayage with like, oh, we want like sun kissed, but like in California, like that's what they like. Their sun kiss is very different to like an East Coast sun kiss.
Yeah, it's very different.
I
get more sun.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things where I don't know, like the verbiage that they use and like just the way that they describe styles. Because we could be talking about the same thing, but again, like our verbiage is, I just find that interesting because it's like how your brain works.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, no, but again, like we all have very different styles.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's also the stereotype of like what type of artist you are in the sense of like
dress.
Yes. Like I'm a blonding, well, we're both blonding specialists, but I think we specialize in blonding in 2 different categories.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because I'm a lived-in girly. Like I want to melt. I want to do more of those balayage sun kisses.
I get the people like I want to be so blonde that my hair looks like it's about to break off.
It's a level 15.
But I also enjoy my blondes who want that also melted type of look, but they also are to the extreme. So it's like I get like both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also do a lot of brunettes.
Yeah, I would say you do more like
I would
like more lived in like brunette. I literally have a hair.
I had a hair in my mouth earlier and I just stuck my finger right on in there. Don't worry. You were talking to him like we're not editing that out.
Oh my god, I just got it.
But no, but I would say like that's why like even like blonding isn't always about being like my color because like we do each other's hair and I think we're both very good examples
of what we do
like like 95% of our clients look like.
I never thought about it like that, but you're right.
Yeah. Because we use each other as examples a lot.
Yeah. We'll be like, can you come over here? I need your head.
You see her head? Do we like that type of movement?
You see this root melt? This is what I'm talking about.
Can we talk about the buzzwords that we hear?
Oh my god! Can we talk about the buzzwords? I can't.
Oh my god! I thought we stopped recording. I was like, oh.
No, I was trying to see from here the time because I also don't want us to.
Or 20 minutes.
Okay.
No, the buzzwords. Can I have a root melt, color melt, tap, smudge, highlight, baby light, balayage, please?
I have to say, like, I don't know how I feel. Like, part of me likes that. Okay, you have an idea of, our verbiage. I appreciate that. But don't tell me that a highlight is a balayage when you don't know what you're, like, don't argue with me.
I'm triggered.
Like, don't argue with me on it. Like, I understand that you're trying to, but like I'm also telling you, okay, this is not that, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Let me show you what it actually means, and then let's go from there if you want to use these words. And I feel like, I just feel like everyone gets behind TikTok, and we're gonna use these terms. Like, hey, I'm Alex, and I went to the hair salon and I asked for a root smudge with a balayage and long layers and short bangs and this, that. That's what you need to ask your stylist for. But is that actually what you want?
One of it is too, because let's get technical for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And the hairdressers who are listening or watching will understand. We could do the same haircut on each other and it will look different because of density, texture, our color, as well as your face shape. Mm-hmm. So you were talking about how you've been cutting the bangs that I have on every client right now.
Literally, yeah. But it's different.
But they all look different because the bang sections are going to be different depending on your facial structure and things like that. And also, it's going to lay differently because, like, I have cowlicks compared to someone who doesn't. So mine's going
cowlicks, to... Like, I'm literally... I wish I could have the bangs I'm giving everyone. I can't because I have a wicked cowlick.
Well, they too. So, mine split right in half, and that's how they're staying. So it is what it is. And I like them, but...
And again, like, it's something where, like, as a hairdresser... I'm trained to say, okay, if this person has a cowlick, I need to make sure it's longer in this spot, or like
there's a lot that goes on in here that we don't when we're standing,
and we don't speak it, we don't say it. So I think it is important that, like, you know, you can't just have bangs because you want bangs. Or like whatever you want. Like you need to. We're trained to educate our clients, and like this is what I want you to.
And
have.
I think successful stylists take the time to educate their clients.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I saw something on Instagram, like on Reels, a few weeks ago, and it's something that kind of stuck in my head when it comes to buzzwords. And it was a hairstylist, I forget who it was, but they were saying, like, these buzzwords were not created for hairstylists, they were created for the clients so they could communicate better, which I think is a very cool concept. However, and I will say, we are part of the problem.
Yeah.
In the sense of we are educators. Some of the content that we post is meant for educators or for stylists.
And our clients are seeing it.
And our clients are seeing it. So when I'm sharing formulas, placements, and talking about that kind of stuff, I can have a client see that and be like, oh, well, I like the way it came out. She said that she used, 6.0 as her smudge and did this in the mids and that in the ends. But it may not apply to you because you're looking at a different type of service. And I think that that's where it is important that we educate our clients. So here's the difference between a balayage and a highlight. But really, regardless of what you want to call it, it's the technique. It's not a name. Look at what balayage turned into.
Balayage is like the biggest factor of them all because balayage turned into
foliage, which is just another term.
So it's like what was a definition of how to do something. Like balayage really is a French word to sweep, right? And like to paint on the hair. And back in like
the 80s, they got very popular.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, like now, like back in 2012, that's what was big. Like we all hand painted, and then we went from like, okay,
when I was in 8th grade, I was hand painting them highlights on.
Like we had to paint those on, and then we had to tell our clients, like, you have to do this like for 5 sessions,
and you would only get like what 2 to 3 levels of lift. It was like, very soft, it was very subtle, it was very kissed.
But then the trends changed, and we needed to figure out a way that, like, okay, our clients don't want to come back 5 times to have the results in their hair, they want the results now. So we turned to foliage, right? So now we have a way of getting our clients to that level with having the look of balayage. So now I feel like it's just turned into,
and that's why it's a combination.
It's no longer a technique, it's a look.
Mm-hmm. And it's a combination of all different things too, because we both have clients that you're gonna highlight and teasy light them in one service, in one head, and in one section.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like there's a lot that goes on, especially I feel like in our brains.
Well, I was just about to say, like,
when we're doing it. So like back to like the color room, right? So like I know for me, like I'll have a consultation with my client, and I'm like in my head I have like a roadmap of like how I'm going to tackle this, and I get in the back room and I start really thinking, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Has that ever happened to you where you're like,
absolutely? Or you're sitting there going, and you're looking at their hair, and whether it's because of the color of it, that they're asking for something that is just not going to happen in that service, or whether it's color-wise, or it's compromised, or very different hair lengths, like kind of situation where like someone with hair down to like here wants a balayage compared to here, it's going to be very different in a lot of senses because of how long we're going to stretch it, blah, 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 whatever. And you're just sitting there like, and in your head, you're like, I can't even create a roadmap because you're asking me to do something that is impossible. It's not that it's impossible, or sometimes this is gonna be bad. My favorite is when they're asking for something and you're like, this is gonna look hideous.
But there's no compromise. Yeah.
There's no compromise. I mean, we've had this conversation. I will tell clients no.
Yeah, I feel like we've had this conversation where like I feel like Lauren is very blunt and to the point when like, but not in a bad way, like in a good way.
I got 15 minutes for the consultation.
I feel like it's more like instead of you're like you can't do that, like you're just very like honest with them, and I feel like
if your hair's gonna fall out, your hair's gonna fall out. I never want to get the phone call of, or even afterwards, I'm not gonna pay for this service.
Oh my God.
Because I didn't like the way it came out.
Yeah.
Because I yesed you to death. Yeah. Because I've seen that happen to people. And then that's when you're in the back room next to tears going, what am I going to do? Because they left it to an 8 here and a 9 there, but they want to be a level like 25. Like 10B ain't going to fix that, babe.
No. No.
The hair's falling out. Like I don't want to be that person.
No, and I get like being blunt, and I feel like for me, I can be, but I like
it takes you a minute to get there.
Because I like to always like, I like to be like a little bit nice. Like, I don't want to say you're not nice. So like, it's not that. I just like, I'm more of a people pleaser. So I don't want to disappoint you and tell you like you can't have this. But at the same time, I'm going to skate around it until you understand that you're not going to have that.
Yeah. Well, I will kind of, get to the point more and just be like, hey, that's just not going to happen today.
Yeah.
But here's what we can do. There are very few times that I have to straight up have told, like, that I can think of in my head where I've told someone no, or have refused to do a service because I know it's not going to go well. I also test strand all the time.
Well, as we should. Like that is like a major thing I think that we hairdressers don't do. And it's like,
if I even have like a little bit of something in my tummy
and that's why I feel like, you know, we started doing like test strands and we started doing like consultations. Like you come in, we meet you, we talk about it, and we do test strand because I can't tell you, yes, your hair is going to lift to this because you promised you haven't boxed out your hair in 10 years. When really you did it like 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God, you're hurting me because I did that to myself. Her test strand didn't lift. You know who I'm talking about. Her test strand didn't lift and I still took the service and I kicked myself in the ass every day for it. But learning experiences.
Yes.
You know, and it's funny because we were also just like talking about consultations and everything. We were just talking with one of our newer stylists because he had expressed to us that he's like, how do you know what people are asking for when they don't know what they're asking for? And we had mock consultations and of how to politely like say no to a service because of, and giving them the reasons why, or maybe it's just why it's not possible today. But also like the key words that clients use when they're usually referring to specific things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting because it was something that like I knew we did, but to a newer stylist, for them to be like, okay, like,
because for us, I feel like it becomes second nature. And like he was trying to understand like when I was talking to Lauren, our mock conversation about, it was actually a real consultation.
Well, actually, it was my haircut
consultation, and I was trying to explain to him like these questions that I'm asking to me, I'm just like, they just come out. Like I can't even explain to you sometimes why did I ask that. I'm like, it just came out because it felt like it was right.
Yeah.
And I think it just takes time so you have that confidence behind the chair.
But I think that, and again, the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes to you. And I think it is one of those things that like, but the confidence of it, but that's how you get to the point of saying, hey, I'm going to do a test strand, or you know what, I'm saying no to this service.
And I have to say, I feel like from the beginning of opening an Infinity, I feel like we were always very much like, we're not going to let your hair fall out. Like if I know that putting lightener on your hair is going to cause breakage, I am not doing it. And I've even had clients tell me, my hair has never broken off before. And
watch me.
Like you can leave it on 10 more minutes. Just push me. I don't care.
When I tell a client they're ready to like come down, because we rinse in sections with our lightening services. Yeah. So I'll be like, oh, your back's ready. They're like, you can leave it on 5 more minutes. I want it to be bright. I'm like, last time I checked, I was the one who looked at your foil. And last time I checked, I'm the one who can do like check your porosity. I'm telling you, it's time.
Like I said, so I feel like we are very much like we will say no. Like we will say no, but this is what we can do, and this is how we can get your hair healthier. So next time when you come back, we can like push it.
And we have had situations where people have come in for consultations. We have said no to that service, and sometimes if we're being real honest, it could be a personality thing of why you're saying no to a service.
Absolutely.
A huge red flag. No one has ever gotten my hair right before. I won't either.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I won't either.
It can't always be the stylist.
Common denominator.
Yeah.
Now listen, have I had our stylists? Have I had clients who are like, no one has ever been able to get me blonde, and they're a level 7, and you're like, okay, let's test strand it, and they look beautifully, and you can get them blonde, and they're like, oh my god, no one's been able to do it, and you sit to yourself and you're like, I don't understand why, but okay,
that's fine.
But I think sometimes
and I feel
you don't know past history, and I think sometimes people don't, especially when they're not harder but more in-depth type of services where like you need to book out most of your day for them.
Yeah.
People don't want to do that. But even what was it yesterday when I picked up the phone, somebody said, how much do you charge for a color correction? Which red flag like number 2. Asking how much you charge for a service, we will give baseline pricing. If you're really that concerned with the investment, not concerned, but if you're, coming for a consultation, we offer them for free. Yeah. There's a reason for that.
Especially for no matter what kind
for color correction,
you have to come for a consultation.
Because technically,
we don't know what we're seeing.
I don't know what I'm walking into. I'm not going to say, oh, it's $100 an hour, and then it takes me 12 hours and 16 boats of lightener. But it's also one of those things where we've taken a color correction mastery class over at the Moroccan Oil Academy, and something that kind of stuck with me was when they were explaining, technically a color correction falls into the category of when you're moving more than 3 levels or tones in either direction. Yeah. And so technically we quote unquote correct color all day, because taking like my level 8 hair to a level 10, you're technically doing it. However, when I said we don't give basically I was like, you have to come in for a consultation just so that way you can meet our stylist and you can have a conversation. She can see what's going on in your hair. They just hung up on me, which I was like, that's the answer that you didn't like, was saying, hey, why don't you just come in?
And we didn't say no. We just said, hey, like, we need to see your hair because we also want to know what we're getting ourselves into, because we can't say, like,
you don't have the time for a color correction.
Yes, number 1. But also, like, I feel like it's also, and it's not fair, like, say, like you said, okay, she's coming in and you booked her with me or with like another stylist. That's not fair to us because we didn't get to see what we're getting our hands into.
And you're not the one who had the conversation on the phone.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, it's not fair that I'm like, or say for me, I'm the owner. All of a sudden I'm like, hey, you got a color correction coming in. And you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, how is that fair? Like,
do I have what I need in my arsenal?
Correct.
Like, are we waiting for a color order where like, we might be out of certain things that are kind of important?
We need that, yeah. So that's, to me, I'm like, we need to have that conversation. We need to see the hair, and we also have to agree to it, because there might be something that like I can't achieve that for you.
I'm not comfortable with.
I'm not comfortable, and it's okay for us to tell you we're not comfortable to do that.
I think that that's something that is a new thing in the industry where I remember when I was in beauty school, and I'm sure that you had the same experience, when they're like, oh, when you're building up, you say yes to everything. Perms, men's cuts, kids cuts, everything. You just say yes to it. And you were the first salon owner who said, you don't want to do perms? Don't do perms. You don't want to do a men's cut? Don't offer them. You're the first one who was like, I mean, you definitely pushed me to take things to build a clientele.
Correct.
You weren't like, you need to specialize in something and you have to, find your niche and narrow yourself into that. You let me have the ability to explore into,
and that's because I wish someone did that for me. And that's very much,
it was a mind-blowing thing where I'm like, wait,
because why should I shove everything down your throat, and you could be an amazing colorist and suck at men's haircuts? Why are you going to take men's haircuts?
And also,
why are you going to stress yourself out? Because
is it worth the time and money that I'd be making commission-wise off a $25 men's cut if it's going to take me an hour and I'm crying in the back room?
Right. It's not good. It's not good for anyone like that.
It stresses out the whole salon.
So me, personally, I was obviously pushed to do everything. I literally came out of beauty school and they were like, here's a blow dryer, you're blow drying, here's a haircut, like here's scissors, you're cutting hair today.
You got hands? Get in there.
I don't even know how to do long layers, and I'm cutting on someone, and I'll never forget, I had the experience where like someone came back and was like, this is all wonky because I didn't do it right. And I'm like, but no one showed me. No one took the time to show me or like whatever. So it was more of like I never wanted to do vice cuts, but I had to learn how to do it to do it because I was forced to do it. So it's like, so do I do them? Yes. Can I do them? Yes. I became pretty good at them, I would say, but it's not something I choose. I want to do. Or even like
well, even now you kind of close your book down with your men's cuts to
like basically family members of our clients.
Yeah, like husbands and boyfriends and brothers and kids who people who've been your clients for years.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's like I feel like if you have a passion towards something, like even like if you only like color and you just want to do color, that's okay. You don't have to do haircuts.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, like some people say, why don't you just do color? And I'm like, because I love cutting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just limit myself that way.
Yeah. So, but again, different strokes for different folks. Because I've worked in compartmentalized salons before. Yeah. And listen, do I prefer color over cutting? Yes. But I do think, as someone who I would say I'm mostly a colorist, I do think it is valuable for me to still be able to give a good style and haircut. Mm-hmm. And listen, I will be the first one to say, this is beyond my comfort zone, and this is beyond because I don't want to give you beautiful color and then the shittiest haircut you've ever had, and then you're coming back and I'm trying to fix something that I feel like there is a thing where like if you understand the basics of hair cutting, you can cut at any length. However, like let's talk pixie for a second. You got calyx in there. Oh, yeah. You got like it becomes more complicated. I think the shorter the hair for a lot of the times.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I will be the first one to say, I'm not your stylist for this. I'll be happy to still do your color, but you know, Alicia's great with that, or Karen's amazing with this.
And bringing it back to like salon culture, I feel like we don't have that competition.
In what world? I've never worked in a salon where like if someone was going on vacation and a client had to get in, the stylist would be like, you took my client.
Yeah, no. And that's something I didn't want. Like I wanted, because at the end of the day, it's about our clients.
Absolutely.
And if they need their hair done, they have to get their hair done. So how great for them that they can come in and say like, you know, Alicia's not here today, but like Lauren can take you. Great, I need my hair done. That's fine. And next time when they come to me, they're not like, oh my God, I saw Lauren. I'm so sorry. Like, no, we want you to be able to come to anyone. Like when I was on maternity leave, all my clients went to Lauren. So like,
but like that's how I built my book as an assistant as well. Yes. Was I was up her ass, but you started getting busier.
Yeah. And then, but because you were always with me, people felt comfortable to come to you.
So when she got busier and said, hey, I could squeeze you in at this time, but someone else is going to have to blow you out, they then got comfortable with me doing their blow-ups. And then they got me comfortable doing their glosses. And then it was like, if I can't get in with Alicia, I'll go with Lauren. Oh, she can do blonding services. Oh, Alicia's on maternity leave, vacation, whatever. Oh, I can get that done. Mm-hmm. And that's how I built my book. A lot of our clients are friends or family.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things of can't get in with one, I'll go to the other.
Like you literally do my cousin's hair all the time.
Yeah.
Which again, fine.
And it's one of those things where like it is what it is. Yeah. Like it's not a big deal. Like I've had clients that have gotten passed off from you to me to now some of our other stylists, because again, whether it's, and it can be a personality thing. You can just get along with somebody better.
And that's fine. Like when they come in here, I'm not going to make them feel a certain kind of way. I'm like, hey, how are you? Like,
how are the kids? How is so-and-so?
Exactly. And it's fine. And that to me was really important, that again, it's about our clients and like, we can be a family, because I'm not like, I have to take Lauren's, she has, you know, a highlight coming in. I'm going to take that from her because I want the commission. No,
which
it's not about that.
I think we've both dealt with that in different ways. In different places.
Yeah, and it's hard because like I've also had people knock me down because I don't want to say that I'm good, but they foresaw that I was gonna, you know, I was a newer stylist, and they saw that I had a drive and a passion and dedication towards being better, and they didn't like that, so they would like literally yell at me in front of clients. To bring my self-esteem down, and I would go home and be like, maybe this isn't for me. And I'm glad I didn't listen.
Sad?
And I'm glad I didn't listen, because look at where I'm at right now.
But and that's something that kills me. We should do a whole conversation on just past bosses and our horror stories.
Yeah.
And maybe because we're also educators, and I wanted to be an educator since I was in beauty school. because they always lit that fire under my butt and made me go, ooh, I want more for myself.
Yeah.
And again, that going back for me is that connection. Like, I joined this industry because I wanted to help people. I wanted to make them feel good. And it's not just about, oh, I like to play with hair, but like, it's so much deeper than that. And I feel like people don't realize that. But I wanted to become an educator because I wanted to give that feeling of like, whoa, like I feel empowered. I had, again, like that fire under your ass to like go do something, especially that scares you, that I couldn't imagine looking at somebody and blowing that flame out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. So I think we should like do our next podcast on education because I have like a whole list of things I need to say about education.
All right.
And we are at the 40-minute mark. Wow, guys. So this was our first podcast, and it was fun.
Yeah. So rate it, like it, share it with a friend. We have many more to come. We're excited of this new journey that we're on.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Because we're never busy enough.
We just had to add this to our plate. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked it and catch us for our next podcast then.
Bye.